So, what are the highs and lows of living abroad, of leaving your home country to start a brand new life in another country? First and foremost, going abroad to start a brand new life can provide you with great opportunities. Some of the opportunities you wouldn't otherwise get in your own country. Like in my case, when I moved from Zimbabwe to the United Kingdom, I came at a time when the economic situation was shifting and not for the better. So moving to the UK provided me with an opportunity to find work. I was able to study and to start my job, to provide for my family. So when you move abroad to start a brand new life, you can be provided with that kind of an opportunity to further your education and to find a job. And the law of that is leaving your country to go to another country to start a brand new life is not an easy thing to do. First of all, the process can be stressful because you need to find the money, you need to make arrangements for travel, you need to make arrangements to find accommodation where you're going. So the move itself can be quite stressful. It can take a toll on you. And the other thing as well is leaving your loved ones behind to go to another country to start a brand new life. It's not an easy thing to do. I gave an example of my case when I moved from Zimbabwe to the United Kingdom. I had to leave my little girl behind because at the time I couldn't bring her along with me. So it took me a couple of years before I was able to do that. I had to come here and settle first, and I had to sort out the visa situation for her to join me. So that period in my life was difficult. It was stressful. It was a sad time for me because I was missing my child. And you know, as a mother, you always be wondering, is my child well fed? Is my child happy? Is my child warm? Those are the kind of things that mothers think about. So you can imagine what I went through. And another thing as well is even if you manage to bring your immediate family along with you, you can't always bring everyone with you. Because in my case, even though I managed to bring my family with me, I was not able to bring my extended family. I was not able to bring everyone along with me. I left relatives behind. I left my mom. I left my dad behind. I left friends behind. I left the life that I had built for myself. I left everything that I had known behind to start a brand new life. And that's not an easy thing to do. That takes some adjusting. That takes some getting used to. You will have period of sadness. So that's the other law of living abroad. Another high of moving abroad and starting a new life there is you get a chance to experience other cultures. You get a chance to expand your horizons. You get a chance to expand your knowledge. You develop an understanding and an appreciation of other people's cultures, traditions, and customs. And also, as you experience other cultures, you also get an opportunity to allow or to let other people experience your own culture, because you do that through interaction, through exchange, cultural exchange. Because as you communicate, as you interact, as you mix with the people in your new community, they also get to learn things about your culture. They also get to experience things about your culture. So it not only enriches you, it also enriches the people you're going to meet in that country. So it enriches you and it grows you as a person. And the flip side of that, or the law of that, is there will be some language barriers if you move from your country to live abroad, especially if your country of origin doesn't speak the language of the country that you're moving to. It can be difficult for you to adjust and to assimilate into that culture, because you will need to learn that language. You will need to make a conscious effort to learn that language, because otherwise there will be communication barriers, there will be misunderstandings. And even if you want to look for a job, it's hard to look for a job if you can't speak the language. How are you going to perform in an interview? How are you going to work at that job? Even if you get the job, how are you going to perform efficiently and effectively if you can't communicate in a way that people understand you? So the language barrier can be an issue. And also, when it comes to culture as well, I mentioned that it enriches you, but there is a flip side to that, in that the cultures, because they are different, they may be, or there will be, some misunderstandings. And in another video, I gave an example. In my Zimbabwean culture, when somebody older than you are, or when someone in a position of authority is speaking to you, especially if they are reprimanding you, especially if you've done something wrong and they are talking to you about it, you don't look them in the eye. According to our culture, to the Zimbabwean culture, it's a sign of disrespect. It's showing defiance. But in the English culture, it's exactly the opposite. If you don't look someone in the eye, you're showing disrespect. So that kind of cultural clashes can pose some difficulties. They can cause some misunderstandings. So this is another challenge of living abroad. But it takes time. It takes you making a conscious effort to learn as much as you can about that culture, about the new culture. That's how You assimilate into the culture. That's how you get to know the culture well and to understand and to appreciate the culture. And also through that process of learning about that culture, of being curious about that culture, other people from that country or the people from that country also get to know about your culture. They also get to learn about your culture. So you develop that appreciation of one another and you bridge the gap between those cultures. And quite quickly, if you're still watching, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm and it keeps me motivated. Now, another law of living abroad is homesickness, because when you leave your original home, there are certain things that you get to miss. You almost certainly become homesick. That cannot be avoided. It's natural to feel homesick, and that feeling sometimes can make you miserable. It can make you sad because you miss certain experiences. You miss certain things about your original home. For example, you will miss the food. You will miss some of the experiences that you had become used to in your own country, because now you're in a different country where they do things differently, where they value different things from those you valued in your own country. So because of that, you become homesick, and that feeling can make you really sad. I did a whole video about how to overcome homesickness, and I'm going to put the link of that video at the end of this video, so check it out and see how best you can help yourself if you are in that situation right now. But another high, which is a flip side of that, is when you live abroad or when you leave your country to start a brand new life abroad, is you get to appreciate some of your culture, the culture that you left behind, some of the traditions and the customs that you left behind. You get to appreciate them even more when you're in that new country, because now you're missing those experiences. Now you're missing those traditions or those cultures and traditions and the customs. You get to appreciate and understand their value because now you're without them. Now you get to see what life feels like without those experiences. So it gives you a deeper appreciation and understanding even of your own culture when you have to leave it behind and experience a different culture. And another way you get to appreciate your own culture, that culture you left behind, is when you go to a new country. While you adapt to this new culture, you also get to appreciate your own culture, the culture that you left behind, your roots. You get to appreciate it even more while you assimilate into this new culture, because perhaps you see similarities between your two cultures, or maybe there are differences, but you see that the people in this new country appreciate and preserve their culture. They value their culture. So it teaches you as well to value your culture, the one that you left behind. It teaches you to value it even more. It teaches you to appreciate it even more, because these people in this new country are teaching you to value your culture, the one you didn't appreciate before. They are teaching you through their example, through the way they value their own traditions. So that's another high of moving abroad. Another law of living abroad is it can be hard to navigate the rules and laws of that country, because you are now in a new country and you're expected to do things differently. There are laws of the land, of that land. So you're expected to live by those laws. You're expected to abide by those laws. And if they are different from the laws of your own country, then it can take some adjusting. It can take some getting used to those laws. For instance, the visa immigration laws, they can be difficult to navigate as well. So it takes time for you to get used to those laws, for you to fully understand, for you to fully grasp what is expected of you, for you to fully know what you need to do, for you to fully know your way around. And also when you're looking for a job as well, it can be hard to navigate that process because you don't know where to begin. If you're on your own in a new country, it will take you longer, perhaps, to find your way around, to know how to go about things. It might take you longer because you've got no one to show you how things are done. You've got no one to show you where to go to look for a job. So these are the highs and lows of living abroad. But one thing is certain: that process of leaving your country to go and start a brand new life in another country grows you, because it takes you out of your comfort zone and throws you into a completely new environment where you have to navigate through challenges, where you have to teach yourself new things. Through that process, you develop resilience, you develop problem-solving skills, you develop courage, all the good things that make you a better person. So this is what I had for you in this video. As always, I hope you found it useful. If you want more content like this and haven't subscribed, then consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you may be notified whenever I post a video. Also, like this video, leave a comment and share. I'll be forever grateful. Take care.